Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a new product review by Essdee. I believe that's how you pronounce it. If not, I am so sorry. It's block printing ink, which I use for my printmaking. It is water-based, so I'm hoping it's going to give me the same results as my previous block printing ink, which is actually this one. It's quite worn and torn. I've had this for a few years. I think I actually bought this when I first started my art channel. I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe, I want to say. I can't remember. I think it's like 2018 when I first started into it. It has lasted me so long, and it's very well pigmented, and also to the fact that you can use it multiple times because it is water-based. You can reactivate it and also transfer very well in terms of collage and just paper imprinting. But this time, unfortunately, that one I can't find anywhere. I actually originally bought it from Amazon, and the only one that's popping up that's similar price and form and general good reviews are these two. Originally just bought the black, but then I realised actually I need a colour, so I went for this Biro Blue just because of a sketchbook idea. I think I might actually show you it. It's actually from a sketch. I wanted to do a liner print of this. Obviously I need to carve out and then print onto it, but I didn't want to just do it in black and white because I felt like that was kind of too obvious. So I wanted to try the blue, but obviously I need to make sure that the blue ink is well pigmented. If it's not, then I've just spent £8 on a really rubbish product, but it's okay. That's why we do product reviews, so I can see what it's like, and I will always find a use for it. I still have products that I have bought to do reviews on, and they haven't worked out well, but I have found another way to use them around my artist practice. Just like, I'll give you an example, this PVA glue. I originally bought it for doing my acrylic pours. It didn't work. The PVA glue just didn't want to work. It was a hit and miss. It was quite cheap. I think it was £1 for a bottle because they were trying to get rid of it. I just thought, it's £1, you know, what can you do? I don't use it for acrylic pouring because it just didn't work. It didn't want to work with the mixture. So I just use it now for general sticking my mixed media pieces onto a card. It has lasted a while, so that's one of the things. Just gotta find a use for all these little bits of products. So yeah, what I'm basically gonna do, I'm gonna do a couple prints of these, maybe just line up a A4 Perspex with a bit of the black, and then add in some blue just to see what it's like. I'm gonna need to do more than one print because the first print is always gonna be more pigmented and more sticky to the paper, if that's a technical term for it. So for the first print, it is going to have some leftover ink from last time, but the last time I did a print on that actual Perspex, not much ink actually came off, so I think that line was too dried. But I just want to give you that warning just in case you'd be like, oh my god, the first print's amazing. But that's also why I'm doing multiple prints from it, just to make sure that I can actually get, it's not just a fluke, the first one basically. So I'm going to set that up. I am going to be saturating my paper with water to help me print onto the piece of paper, because it is my normal process, as the water tends to soak in the ink a bit more, make it more pigmented and forever and ever. I think first I'm just going to do a black one, and then I'm going to do a blue one, and then I'm just going to do kind of a free range one where I just put whatever remnants I've got left over, and I just put a bit more blue on to see what I can get out of it. It isn't just a couple prints process. You have to keep on printing just to see what you can actually physically get out of it, because it's just not a one print situation. You have to work with it for quite a few months until you go, okay, this is what I can get out of this product, and then put it to one side and then work it with other mediums, because you know exactly what you're going to get and how much ink you're going to need as well. I think I'll do a mixed one first. I can see if I need to add in more blue. There's no, what do you call it? Taper is it? Like film. I believe you just put it on. And it looks and feels quite thick. Just like my other ink. It looks like this one's a little bit more liquidy. Not like massively liquidy, but it's just something to note. I'm guessing that's because of the colour pigmentation that they have in with it. Because this first layer is going to have quite a lot of ink, and I feel like it's going to be mostly black, we're going to use it as kind of a I don't want to say dampener, like a first trial, because normally the second print is actually the one I want. Not to say the first print is rubbish, but it's kind of more of a tester print, because then in the second print you can replicate and use more of the colours that you want. So I'm just going to wet my paper, and then this should be ready to go. Anyone new to my channel, I don't have a printing press. Basically, I don't have room at the moment for one, and to be honest, I don't think I could afford one. Even just getting a little one would be expensive. And to be honest, the process that I use, I don't actually really need professionally printed versions. If I wanted a really professional print, I just add in more ink because it's more likely to miss bits of the paper, and it seems to works pretty well anyway. That's just my personal opinion though. Obviously, if you've got the money and you're looking to be doing professional prints, then it is something to look into. Maybe with my next house it shall be one of those things I look at. So this is black and blue. As you can see, it is quite pigmented for the first. The blue has kind of disappeared, should we say. There are like little remnants of it at the top, and then some little bits towards the bottom. It's not a big thing. So we're just going to use more blue this time. This is why I didn't want to do a primary black, because you can just get a general gist of what it's going to be like. For the amount of ink that I did put on here, I would have thought there'd be a bit more sharpness around the sides. With this one, because it is a tester print, I will probably end up reprinting on top of it, either with acrylics or with more printing ink. It depends on the situation, and that's generally what I do with all my prints that I don't think are completely ready yet. I really like the little veiny marks. That will be quite nice when it's dried. I really hope this blue comes through really nicely, because it's a really nice shade. If any of you wanted to know, I actually have what I like to call an excess board. It is here. Anything off of the roller that I have excess of, I just roll onto here and actually use it to help dry out my acrylic pours, so then they kind of go on and it adds texture. I need some bigger paper before I do some printmaking on it, but I'm very, very excited with it because it's also got a lot of excess acrylic paint on it. Okay, so fingers crossed this will translate lovely and nicely. If it doesn't, I can obviously wait for this board to dry and then just use blue and not have to worry about using the black, because any black that will come through would just be, what's the right word for it? Echoes, should I say? Echoes of the pigment, even though it is quite pigmented. Okay, so it does look like that black has, I wouldn't say, basically the blue has become lost, a bit lost. It is still there, but from your point of view you can't really see it. There is like a large portion there. But I think the best solution at the moment is to wait for both the prints to dry and then reprint on top of them just using the blue, because I do think the blue isn't as strong pigmented as the black is. However, this black actually isn't as pigmented as the other printing ink that I have used, so that is something to note. Even though they are the same cost, they're not as well pigmented, so I'm either going to have to use more of the ink or not use both, because the black just kind of takes over everything, whereas the blue you have to put a lot on, and it does seem that the black always rises to the surface more than the blue, if that makes sense. So it is again one of those trial and errors, but it is also my first impressions of it. It can change over time and I will still be experimenting with it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you an insight into the product that I have recently bought. Obviously we don't have quite a conclusion just yet, because it does take more than a couple prints to understand what the product is and how you can use it to your advantage and what you want to get out of it. As we can see, the black is very versatile. I want to say versatile. It comes through quite well, but what there is, it overtakes if there's more than one colour on that board. But again, it's just because I've changed from one product to another. I'll just have to work out how much ink I have to put on board without it spoiling the paper. Out of 10 at the moment, I'm thinking about a 7. For the black, definitely a 7. For the blue, I'm thinking about a 5 or a 6. But again, it's not a complete conclusion to the product because I have only done 2 prints with it. I just need a bit more experimentation with it for the time being. But again, this is my first impressions, and just to show you the product, what it is, how I've used it, and what I can go from this point onwards. I will be doing some more videos of the product review further down the line whilst I choose to experiment it, whilst I'm in this weird bit of space where I'm waiting for stuff to arrive so I can carry on with other projects. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this. I hope you found this video insightful and useful. There is a link in my description box to links to all my social medias and also my eBay selling account if there's anything you'd like to see on my channel. It is normally up for sale on there, plus a couple of extra bits as well. But until then, I shall see you guys next time. Bye now.